In September 2023, we boarded the Celebrity Summit for an 11-night Maine and Canada cruise round trip from Boston. In this video, I'll share my ship tour. Hey everybody, it's Angie from Trips with Angie. Let's take a look around the summit. Let's start the tour on deck 3, just outside of the glass elevators. This is the atrium. You could ignore the security equipment. This was just because the gangway was on deck 3. To the left, you'll find the photography studio for more formal portraits, the concierge desk for concierge class, as well as elite guests and above, and your guest services desk. Now, I always recommend giving guest services a call versus standing in line, but some things you do need to head down there for. I love this light up staircase. Here's where the shore excursion desk is located. You can also access shore excursion information via the app. If you keep going towards the app past the shore excursion desk, you'll find signs pointing you to Tuscan Grill and the meeting place. This restaurant is really hard to find. You think you're definitely going the wrong way, but nope, you absolutely walk down this long hallway of rooms and then make a right just at the end, coming across the aft elevators. This is where you'll find the entrance to Tuscan Grill. This is where the elite and above breakfast is located, as well as the a la carte specialty restaurant, Tuscan Grill. So this is a mix of Italian and steakhouse favorites. It is an extra charge. Reservations are strongly recommended. On our sailing, it offered lunch on sea day in addition to dinner daily. You can make reservations in advance or upon joining the ship. Now, I got a little peek into the escalators back into the kitchen as I was leaving Tuscan Grill. Now, heading up the stairs to deck 4, we'll find Lumen A. This is the special dining restaurant just for suite class guests. They're the only ones who have access. It has a premium menu, so you may see things on this menu you won't find in any other of the restaurants on board. You can also find the deck to the outside, as well as the entrance to the rendezvous lounge on this side. Heading across the ship to the other side, we'll find the deck 4 entrance to the Cosmopolitan restaurant. This is the included dining room. It was open for breakfast every day, lunch on sea days, and dinner every day. For dinner, this was the anytime dining room, so that meant you did not have a set reservation. You just showed up even in the evening. Now, some evenings there was quite a wait. Each evening there will be a dress code in the program. So you can see here, there's a smart casual as well as an evening chic. Leaving the restaurant, there is a door to the outside deck on deck 4. The outside deck space on this ship is okay. It's not as large as some of the other ships, and it doesn't wrap all the way around like you could find on some other promenades in other classes of ships, but it just takes you along the edge of the ship. Heading into the rendezvous lounge, this was a lounge that was used for trivias. It was a meeting place for shore excursions. In the evening, there would be a live band. There were a number of musicians on board. They were all great. There was a guitar duo, a violin duo, a quartet, a 5-piece band, plus the show orchestra. So lots of live music around the ship, and Rendezvous was one of those locations. Now we're heading towards midship. You'll find the giant nose. You may have seen some pictures on the internet about that. On this side is going to be the ladies' room. Now on this ship, that means the men's room is on the other side of the ship in the exact same spot. Here's the infamous martini bar, the site of so many fun activities, great cocktails. You can pre-order a mixology tasting or just order it at the bar in the afternoon. This is where also the infamous silent disco takes place, where they hand out headphones and everybody dances to the beat of what's ever in their headphones. That's a lot of fun. I highly recommend you take advantage of it if it's on your sailing. The casino, standard casino. Now a reminder, this will only be open when the ship is at sea. It won't be open when it's at port or if it's anchored for part of a tender operation. Those are just kind of local rules. It does have a casino bar, and that was a great place to watch sports. They did try to get as many sports events as they could, always satellite depending. Leaving the casino and heading towards the forward or front part of the ship, we're going to find the art gallery. There were a number of art auctions on board as well as different seminars. They do switch up this art daily or every couple of days. So it's really nice to come down here if you love art to see what they have on display. You might find something you like, maybe even something you want to buy, but I just thought it was a nice area. This is also where the retreat lounge is located. Now I took a little snapshot inside. This is just for retreat suite guests. It used to be Michael's Club if you sailed the Summit a long time ago. Just past the retreat lounge, we're going to find the photographers area. You can buy a number of cameras on here. There's also photographers that go around the ship making themselves available for different photos. It's free for them to take your picture and then they will show you the pictures and you can decide if you'd like to buy them. Deck 4 is also an entrance to the main theater. Here was how it looked during one of the many lectures on board. We had some phenomenal guest speakers doing lectures on things like orcas and all kinds of wildlife. And then heading up, you can see kind of what the view looks like from the upper decks. Now, in terms of shows, we had guest performers, we had a comedian, magician, comedians, a number of singers. Some did tributes to like the divas of songs. So think Whitney Houston, Celine Dion. And then in addition to that, there were the production shows. One thing I love about Celebrity is they always have incredible acrobatic acts. This was from the show called Life. It was the main stage production show, the Celebrity Orchestra, and then these incredible acrobats. This was from one of the guest performers. He was a Neil Diamond, I wouldn't say impersonator, but a Neil Diamond show where he sang all Neil Diamond songs. That was very fun. He also had a late night show in the Sky Lounge. And then this was from the production cast doing a Broadway cabaret where they sang hit shows from cabaret. One thing to note is keep your evenings open. A lot of times there was a second show, smaller show, different material at 10:30 in the Sky Lounge with the guest performers and the production cast. Now we're up on deck 5. We just came out of the theater and here's where you're going to find all of your shopping. So if you come on cruises to shop on board, you're going to find yourself deck 5 near the forward elevators. So they have all the shops you would expect, your high-end watch shops, jewelry shops. They have your typical specials of the day, the $10 deals, the t-shirt deals. You can get different souvenirs that are unique to the location or even unique to the Celebrity Summit. You can buy a new purse. They have all range of prices. So like I said, like some days they had pop-up sales with $10 t-shirt sales. So just keep an eye on the program for when those sales are going to be. You can also enter raffles at the Effie store there on the left. They have raffles every day. That area gets really crowded, especially at night as the theater's emptying out. If you forgot anything like a hat or a clutch, sunglasses, you can purchase those here. And then it has your duty free. So the items you would typically expect of a duty free: makeup, perfumes, and alcohol. Those can all be bought. Now, if you do purchase alcohol at the duty-free shop, they won't deliver it till the last night of the cruise. So you can't plan on buying a bottle in duty-free and drinking it while on board. Now, most people do book under the Celebrity promotion that includes a drinks package because, the only included beverages are going to be coffee, tea, water, lemonade, and juices. Here in the middle, you're going to find your next cruise desk. So there are promotions and benefits for either making a deposit or booking your next cruise while on board. You'll get extra credit and you can have it stay with your travel agent that booked the cruise that you're currently on. There's also an Apple reseller on board. If there's a line, you must be getting close to Cafe Al Baccio, the coffee shop that has these incredible sweet treats included and available all day long. You can order your specialty coffees, hot teas, and they have a really nice iced tea as well. They've kind of expanded the seating area around because it is so popular. You can sit down and they'll come and take your order if you don't feel like sitting in line. That's usually what we do because it takes about the same amount of time. Now we're midship on deck 5. You can see the beautiful atrium here. It is 3 levels. It does get a bit loud in the evenings with the different bands playing. Also on this level, you'll find Sushi on 5. This is another a la carte specialty dining restaurant. It serves sushi. Surprise, surprise. It's well named. The items are priced individually, so it's not a set cover charge. You can come for lunch or dinner. The hours change depending on how busy it is. Right next to it is Cellar Masters. Now they do let you order from a limited list of sushi items in Cellar Masters. So we sat at one of these chairs, we had a glass of wine, and the waiter from Sushi on 5 came over and we ordered some sushi rolls. This is also a great spot for pre-dinner music. The violins and guitar players all played here. This is the Deck 5 entrance to the Cosmopolitan. This was the set dining time, so you can choose an early or main dining time. We chose the later time, which was 8:15. Around the corner, you're going to find Blue. This is the special dining room for guests who have booked an Aqua Class cabin. It has its own specialty menu, and you can also order off the main dining room. Now, let's head up to Deck 10. We are on Deck 10 aft, or the back of the ship. That's where all the food is located. The dining rooms, the buffet, and the Tuscan Grill specialty restaurant. I like to say food in the back, fun in the front. The Ocean View Cafe is the buffet. It was open for breakfast, lunch, and dinner every day, as well as tea time and snacks. So coming in, it was always busy. And in fact, one day at noon, I think the entire ship was eating here because we could not find a seat anywhere. Anyway, we're towards the back of it now. So this is the part that's going to stay open the longest. You have pizza there on the right. In lunch, you have a sandwich making station here. For breakfast, it's an omelet making station. You definitely want to head all the way back here because a lot of people didn't know this was here. So this is pizza during the day, and then you can also find poached eggs here in the morning. So you can get custom eggs Benedict. They have 4 different kinds. So lovely. You can get your toast as well as your breakfast classic. So think eggs, bacon, potatoes. All of this is going to be back here. During lunch, they have Asian specialties back here. And then that little section to the right has a wonderful charcuterie and cheese section that's open basically all day long after lunch. Back here is the Sunset Bar. So this is super popular during sail away. They did have a guitar player here once or twice during the sailing. I wish they would do that more because it's so lovely to sit outside and listen to live music. There is a sink here for washing your hands. Now coming back inside, we're going to go towards the more forward part of the buffet. You can see there's a lot of different seating options, tables for 4, long tables for a bigger group. This is the pasta station. During lunch and dinner, you can get made to order pasta dishes, including gluten-free pasta. And then look, you have so many teas to choose from. I love this. I think it's so fun. I'm a new tea drinker. I recently gave up coffee, but you can see they have herbal teas, all different kinds of breakfast teas, so great options. There's also a small bar with sodas, beers, and wines as you move towards midship in the buffet. This area right here becomes the carvery during lunch, so it will have, a turkey or pork loin or some type of meat that they're carving fresh right there in front of you. Then this area is the special of the day. So that's where you're going to find, if it's like Taste of Asia, the specialties. On this side, we have the bread shop, so incredible fresh baked breads. And then if you go on the other side of the buffet, you're going to find Scoops, which is hard pack, as well as soft serve ice cream and cookies. So now heading out of the buffet towards midship, towards the pool bar. General reminder, there are sinks, there is hand sanitizers. Please use them. A lot of people didn't. Heading outside, if you go to that first exit, that first door, this is where the ping pong tables are located. There's one on each side of the ship, and it's a little bit sheltered. These windows do open if you need a breeze, but it keeps it from flying overboard. This is the grill during the day, like around 11 to 6. It has hamburgers and hot dogs. You can special order a turkey burger or a vegetarian burger, but it takes about 10 to 15 minutes to cook. Coming out to the main pool area, on the left here is a little stage where the band would play. That's also where they would have the Zumba and any of the dancing. You can see there's a whirlpool here, as well as a small pool, and then another whirlpool on the other side. The pools were brisk on our sailing, but the whirlpools did get up to a pretty warm temperature. There's seats there in the middle, little benches along the sides. You have a shower to shower off before you head into the whirlpool, and then lots of chaise loungers set out if you want to look out or if you want to look towards the main pool area. Here's the second pool with the lift that goes into the pool. You just need to let a pool attendant know if you'd like to use it, and they'll come over and walk you through the process. You do have towels and blankets available. We had blankets because we were more cold weather sailing, but they're going to be here kind of towards the midship area of the pool. Now there is this weird area where you have to go up and down steps. If you don't want to go up and down those steps, just keep heading forward. You can come around through the solarium without going up and down the steps. And then here's just that view looking back from the top of those stairs. Now this is the pool bar. This was our favorite place to be during the day. It had great views. We could open and close those windows depending on how warm it was getting. Great bartenders, just a lot of fun right here. Now heading back around, because that entrance was closed off, we find a set of bathrooms. So on this side was ladies, which means on the other side is men, and tables and chairs here in the solarium. Now the solarium is adults only, except for a small window in the afternoon where families with kids are allowed. This is especially on cold weather sailings, so kids have access to a heated pool. This area is the juice bar. The juices are included as part of your premium beverage package, or you can pay by the juice or smoothie. And then that's the spa cafe that has sandwiches and roll-ups and great different lunch and breakfast items. So you can come here for breakfast or lunch if you want to kind of escape the crowd. That's what we did every day. I love the detox smoothie. It's kale and celery and green and lovely. And then you can see here going up all these stairs, you have the large heated thalassotherapy pool as well as the 2 whirlpools on either side. Heading forward, we're going to enter into the spa area right to your left. Now we are on the left side of the ship or port side. You could head into the ladies' changing areas, and a little secret back here is an included sauna. You don't need a thermal pass to access the sauna. You can just access it through the ladies' changing room here on the port side or left side as you're facing the front of the ship. Heading back into the spa is an extra charge. So first you're going to come to the salon. So that's where you would have your nails done. You can see there, that's the pedicure area. It does not have the massage chairs. So that's important to you. As you continue to go back, you'll find the fitness center. The fitness center is included. They have different included fitness classes and then additional extra charge fitness classes. If you're interested in this, definitely come on the first day to learn more about all the offerings. Next to the fitness center is the thermal suite. This is smaller than the Edge class ships. As you can see, this is kind of it. It's just a mix of steam rooms and saunas and a shower. Heading up to deck 11, just above the spa, we'll find Camp at Sea, which is Celebrity's kids program. There were only 5 children on our sailing, so it was not very popular, but they do have this family game room if you wanted to have a different place to hang out, come together, play foosball. On the other side of Camp at Sea, we're going to find the Sky Lounge. The Sky Lounge is hopping in the evening. So as I said before, some of the guest performers offered a second show, like on the night they weren't performing up here. Like there was an acoustic set by the Neil Diamond guy. There was an additional 15-minute show from the production cast. So keep your eye on the program for those extra late night shows. Heading out onto deck 11, this staircase you find right here, there's one on either side of the ship that will take you up to the retreat sun deck. I didn't get any shots of that. I wasn't in the retreat. On deck 11 is also where you're going to find the walking track. It goes around deck 11. It was super popular during our sailing, especially in the early morning. I really like these booth areas. If you have a large group, we were traveling with 13 people, so it's nice to have areas that can accommodate a larger group. And then this is the mass bar, so we're directly kind of above the pool bar at this point. And these seats are so popular because you get a great view of everything that's happening on the pool deck. They're especially fun if there's a class going on, if there's music playing, so you can really enjoy this great view and see the pools and all the different whirlpools. Heading around, we're going to find the smoking area. This is the smoking area again here on the port side, deck 11, midship. And you can see everyone kind of walking around the walking track. Coming around the port side of the ship, you can see there's lots of chairs set here so you can face each other, or you can easily look out to the water without interfering with the walking track. I really like how they set this up. On other ships, they put the chaise loungers side by side, and it makes it really awkward with people walking around the track. Heading inside midship on deck 11, we're going to find Cuisine. This is the restaurant that hosts the Le Petit Chef dining experience. If you've seen my other celebrity videos, I've already reviewed this experience, so I'm not going to beat a dead horse, but this is where they project onto the plate a set of cartoons and then make the food and serve it to you all together all at once. It still has the old furniture from Cuisine, it's kind of fun. Heading back outside on deck 11, now we're heading towards the aft or back of the ship. You can see the walking track continues along here. This is kind of a good space if you're looking for a more quiet area. They do set up the chaise loungers on busier warm weather sailings. Again, we were Canada, New England. It was about 70 degrees. A lot of people were sitting inside. You'll find the stairs that go up to the rooftop terrace. Now, I think this was a big improvement. You find the sports court. So this was set up for a number of different activities, pickleball, basketball. They even had a little football or soccer if you're from the US. And just pay attention to the schedule, again, to what sport's going to be offered there, but you could come up anytime and just play by yourself if you'd like. Heading around to the rooftop terrace, we're going to find some more good sort of quiet places to sit. I really liked this little area. I sat here as we pulled into Portland, Maine, and it was absolutely lovely. Again, a little quieter. Now you won't get bar service up here, so if it's important to you to have someone walking around offering drinks, this little quiet area probably isn't the best space to go. But back here on the rooftop terrace, they did a great job on our sailing of offering different sporting events and movies, both during the days and at night. And this was a great viewing experience. It was actually very boisterous during the Patriots game since our ship left from Boston. Great sound, great color, just a good spot if you want to watch a movie or watch a sporting event. Now let's head down to deck 6 and check out my cabin. We have booked a Veranda Cabin, and it's cabin number 6016, a standard Veranda Cabin. It was located pretty close to the elevator. So as you come in, you're going to find the bed. So this was 2 beds pushed together. You can also have them separate them. Right as you enter, there'll be a closet. Ours included 2 robes, a long hanging area with shelves underneath, and then a shorter hanging area. You get a bag as well as an umbrella and several shelves. Heading into the bathroom, you'll find a standard cruise ship bathroom, but it has a lot of storage. So you have the different shelves here, as well as under the sink storage, a good size sink, and decent space around the toilet, and then the glass shower door. This was an improvement when Summit was revolutionized several years ago, was adding glass shower doors. Shampoo, conditioner, and body wash, as well as body lotion, are included and available. Next to the bed on the side closest to the bathroom, there are not any outlets, but there is a nightstand with a drawer and a little shelf underneath. You have more shelves above the mini bar area. So you have 2 cabinets with the safe. You have a mini bar, mini fridge here. The beverages included in here are not included in your premium dining package. So if you take anything out of here, they will charge you extra for it. You have a nice sized television. The side of the bed that was closest to the balcony did have outlets in it, so we did not need to run an extension cord for a CPAP machine. It was built into the light. If you notice, the light on the other side of the bed was higher up, not on the nightstand. It's also where you find your phone, a small chair and table, as well as the desk area. That top drawer houses the hair dryer if you're looking for it. Then you have 3 shelves there and a nice mirror that's lighted. Heading out to the balcony, it is a slide door. Now this is considered a little bit of an obstruction because the white steel goes all the way around, but the balcony was huge. It was so big. Note there is some rust happening. The Summit does need some love. There were some spots in our carpeting. There were some rusty spots around. They were redoing the whirlpools while we were on board. So it is an older ship. There are some areas you're going to find it, but I didn't find the view obstructed. One thing you do need to know though is the people behind you. So this is the deck 7. Your balcony goes out farther than them, so the people on deck 7 can see you. So that is the Celebrity Summit. What did you think? I'd love to hear if you've sailed her, what you thought in the comments. This is the ship I have sailed the most on Celebrity. And here comes some videos that YouTube and I thought you might like.